Hey, this is John from Sunreed Instruments, and today I just want to demonstrate the main gong mallets that we sell and that we're recommending to people for gongs. There's a lot of different possibilities for gong mallets on the market. There's a lot of different makers, and we've just honed in on a couple selections that we think are really valuable, really important, not too costly, and so that's what I want to share with you today. So the first two mallets are Dragonfly percussion mallets. This is the Resonance XL, and this is the Fuzz Bucket. And both of these serve basically the same purpose. It's to bring out the deepest fundamental note of the gong so you can get a really soft, rich note without there being too many higher harmonics. And the reason why there's two different types is that one is for smaller gongs and one is for larger gongs. So this gong right here is about 28 inches. I would tend to recommend this smaller mallet for it. But once you get to like a 32-inch size gong, maybe you want to get the larger mallet, because with a larger gong, you're going to need a little bit more power to get a really nice rich note. The reason that I really like the Dragonfly percussion mallets is because they're not very top heavy. Sometimes this top portion on these fuzzy mallets can be really weighty, and so you can feel that in your wrist. And with these, it's just really well balanced on both sides, so I feel like I could just hold this forever and there's no tension. I don't feel anything in my wrist. So what I'm experiencing here when I use these two mallets on this gong, it essentially is the same sort of effect, just hearing that deepest note from this gong. And then again, once you get to like a 32, 34-inch gong, you're probably going to want the larger Resonance XL. These are also by Dragonfly Percussion. They are gong rollers. And what you can do with these, they have flexible handles, and you can hit the gong in quick procession, and you could bring the gong up to a certain intensity level and keep it really stable at that level. So instead of just hitting the gong over and over and having the gong come up and down and up and down in intensity, you're really keeping it stable at one place. The next mallet is, we think of this as like a really multi-purpose mallet because you can use it for crystal bowls, metal bowls, but I also think it's really nice for the gong here. And it's also made by Dragonfly Percussion. And with this, you can just get little higher pops from the gong. So with a mallet like this, you're really actually avoiding the fundamental note of the gong, and you're really just focusing in on those higher harmonics, just a little pop of sound, like a little pop of color. And then the last thing I want to show you are the friction mallets. And we don't sell that many friction mallets on our site. There's so many different friction mallets available. But we honed in on these three because they give three very distinct effects from the gong. The first is what we call the easy to use friction mallet. It's also called the Easy E friction mallet. And this is just a really easy way to get that really high pitched sort of whale-like sound. The next is the Crazy Egg mallet. This is also really easy to use, and another thing I like about these friction mallets is they basically work on every gong we've ever tried them on. This is going to give a little bit lower of a sound than that Easy E. Lava mallet. This is the largest one they make, and with this you're going to get more of a low rumbling tone from a friction mallet.